Hey there, perfectionists. My name's Dolapo, but you already knew that because you're so darn perfect. Oh, you didn't know that? I mean, come on, guys. It hasn't been that long since my last video. Has it? Oh, shit. Well, things here have been absolutely crazy. I've got a lot of stuff going on in my life right now, a lot of great things, career-based, and you know, the one thing that's been consistent is my inability to sit down and just game. So I thought I would talk about this little thing that's been keeping me sane through all of this, the Sega Nomad. Come on, guys, I was born in 1995. Get that relic out of here. Go be a ghost somewhere. That thing's often hell eating batteries. But yes, today is about my Nintendo Switch and the first games I ever bought, and I thought it was really cool, you know, just look back at all those good times that I had with it. You know, I'm trying to justify my purchase. Just kidding. All the games are great, right? Right? The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I knew from the get-go that this game was going to change things, not only for gaming as a whole, but for me, because it had been a long time since I'd even touched a Zelda game. I've never actually been a huge fan of the franchise, to be completely honest. I mean, I played Link to the Past. I think it's one of the best games ever created, but after that, I just didn't really gravitate towards Zelda games. And I can't really tell you why it is. Maybe it's just that I found the nature of them to be a little bit darker than I wanted, but as a whole, I just didn't mess with them. But when I played this game, there was something about the freedom that I hadn't experienced in a really, really long time. I loved the sandbox feel of it. I loved that they added such little details, like wearing metal in like a thunderstorm or something like that. That's insane to me. The ideas that they implemented in this title are out of this world. And I think that that's something that should be commended for all time. And a lot of people, they're like, oh, the story, it's like whack, I don't know, I don't like it. You know, when I sat down at the end of it and I thought to myself, wow, Link had no character development whatsoever. Why should I care about this character? And then I really had to sit back and think about who the game was really about. This game was truly The Legend of Zelda. The character Zelda was really who was being highlighted here in her story and how she progresses and how everything that she's fighting for is crumbling down beneath her, and she's trying to do the best she can to keep everything together even though every one of her champions is dying. That really speaks volumes. I don't know. I really like this title, and I think it's gonna be one of my favorites for a really long time. Just a magical little piece. Lego City Undercover. This game was actually released on the Wii U, if you remember what that thing was. And I don't know why I never picked it up. I really actually enjoy Lego games quite a bit. I love the Star Wars games. I like the Jurassic Park one, Indiana Jones, I played the heck out of that one. And then Batman, Lego Batman 3. Amazing. Really, really good. Honestly, you should check that out. I would be really happy if they actually ported that over. But Lego City Undercover is one of the funniest games of all the Lego games. I really do mean that. It's so funny. Like the sense of the humor is in no way, like it's appropriate for children, but the game is not geared towards children in the humor department, because they make like Dirty Harry jokes and other things like that, and it's just like, who's this for? I don't know. I really do appreciate it. It's honestly a good time, and I think you should check it out, because unlike those other ones, the emphasis really isn't in like on building. They don't have you building a lot, but the open world about it really has like a Grand Theft Auto feel, but for kids, you know. And that sounds really weird, but it makes sense within the game. It's a lot of fun, honestly. Cat Quest. I remember picking this one up, and after I bought it, I was immediately like, why did I buy this? I still can't tell you. I don't know. I don't even like cats. Maybe it was the art style, like the storybook, like that you're walking over the map. But to this day, I don't know why I bought it. It's nice enough. I beat it relatively quickly. I just remember mashing A through all the text because I just didn't care. There's something about the symbol on the back of the cats. I don't know. I don't care. It's a game. It's an RPG about cats. If that's your thing, this one's might be free. It might not even be free. I don't know who this is for. It's a game about cats. Fast RMX. Oh my. Okay, so I remember this game being just so much fun to, you know, it was a great way of showing people like what the Switch was capable for. I brought it to my pharmacy school, and my friends, we would put it up on the projector and we would play together on the projector. You know, we'd have a like little Joy-Con thing or whatever. And it was just so much fun, you know, and just switching between the colors to make sure that you keep boosting and such, and that you don't slow down. And it was a lot to think about, and I love the mechanic about that. That was really cool. I hope these guys make another one of these, because I know this isn't their first one. 1-2 Switch. I spent $50 on this game, and I'm still mad about it. Just Dance 2017. This was the game to have, because I had spent so much money since Just Dance 4. Yeah, they used to actually be numbered like that. And my wife and I, we purchased those games on our Wii U, and we loved these games. I'm telling you, like, we play them at all the parties. Our friends would love them too. It was a really good time. And we bought all of them, and then we bought 2017 again on the Switch, and we've been going at that for a while. And I'm telling, it's so much fun. This is the party game to have. If you guys are ever like, hey, I need a get-together game that's just stupid fun, it doesn't need to be super accurate, and this is the version to get, because the Switch version, the Joy-Cons are smaller, and it doesn't feel as obnoxious in your hand as the Wii Remote. So I think that the Switch version is definitely the way to go. I've tried the other versions, the Xbox, like the Kinect, no. Get the Switch version, the Joy-Cons, it makes it so much better. I haven't played NBA Playgrounds in quite some time. The only thing I really remember about NBA Playgrounds is like, at launch, it had a really, really, really bad resolution in handheld mode, and there wasn't really a good reason for it, because Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild looked amazing and played great in handheld mode. So I can't really justify why it looked so bad in handheld mode for NBA Playgrounds. But regardless of that, it still was a lot of fun. Like, the gameplay was where it really shined, because just like playing the 2-on-2 games and things like that, the dunks especially, I don't know, there was such energy to it. There was a lot of energy to it. I really liked it. A lot of people were like comparing it to NBA Jam, but once again, I was born in 1995, so that's not something for me to compare. I don't know. That's not age, all right? NBA Playgrounds was good. I really, really want to like Splatoon 2. Everything about Splatoon should work for me. I'm a Nintendo guy, I like shooters, and that should be it. But something about this game where I will marathon play it at the beginning and then just stop. It happened with the first game, it happened with the second game. I thought by the second game I would have gotten over it, but I just can't. I don't know what it is. I try so hard to like Splatoon, and I just can't. Maybe that's what it is. I just don't have a squad that I can just talk crap about the 12-year-olds and I'm playing against too. I don't know, but something about it is really off. And the story mode, garbage. I don't, stop. The game gives you like barely any motivation to continue. Ugh. The more and more I think about ARMS, the less I think it's actually gonna get a sequel. Not only was the game like almost basically like snubbed by Super Smash Bros., which doesn't make any sense. I think that would have been like the time to cement it as one of, you know, your properties. The game itself, I remember being really into, and then just not being into anymore. It felt like there was nothing to do. In this day and age, most fighting games have story modes now. Like, a lot of them have story modes now. You know, like Mortal Kombat, Tekken, even like what the Dragon Ball Z games before Fighters had story modes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not unknown for fighting games to have story modes. So I don't know why this one couldn't have. I think they should have just let it bake a little longer and given it something to talk about that way to deepen the lore. I think the lore is what it needed really badly. Fighting games, like, it's just something for the fans to latch onto. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2. I don't really play horror games. And then I picked up these games because they were shooters. Not because they were horror games, but because they were shooters, which should really tell you that there is a market for shooters on the Switch, and I don't really know why publishers haven't taken notice of that, but that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is that that's what I got it for. And I played Revelations 1, and I was like, yikes. I don't know. The enemies seemed really, really similar like all the time, and that kind of bothered me. And like the characters seemed really plastic, not just in their appearance, but genuinely like in their character. I never really understood the motivation, and now I'm understanding that that's kind of just how Resident Evil characters are, which is okay, you know, whatever. But the game, like the pack really shines in Resident Evil Revelations 2. While Revelations 1 runs at 60, I do know that Revelations 2 runs at 30. And to be honest, I thought it was gonna bother me, but then I started playing through the game and the story is much more cohesive. I loved it, and that's actually why I got into Resident Evil. My wife and I played through Revelations 2 together, actually, from start to finish, and she loves Resident Evil games now too. We played Resident Evil 5 right after, now we're working through Resident Evil 6. And I gotta say, the Revelation games are genuinely why I don't understand why people like the earlier ones so much. Because I tried the earlier ones, and I can tell you right now, tank controls are butts. They're whole butts, derrieres, whatever, I don't care. It's trash, I hate it. But I think if you're looking for a game to get you into horror games without being too much to handle, I would definitely start with the Resident Evil franchise, like as a whole. They're very approachable games, in that they're survival, and that they don't want you to have too many bullets, but I don't think they're unfair with it. Not to mention they have plenty of options that, you know, don't have ammunition that'll make you get creative and that kind of thing. Like my knife was my best friend. Super Mario Odyssey. I'm gonna be real with you guys here. This ain't it. The more and more I think about it, I really liked it at the beginning, like when it launched, and then as the game progressed, I felt like the challenge wasn't really ramping up at all. And yes, I understand it doesn't have to be difficult, the challenge really comes at the end of the game, yada yada yada, but for someone who spent $60 on this title and wanted, you know, to be the next Galaxy, which it wasn't, I don't know. I didn't feel the innovation as much as I thought I would. And I think Cappy definitely helped. But if you take Cappy away, it's kind of like Super Mario 64 2. Yeah. So yeah, those are the first Switch games I got. It was a crazy year. It really was. There was a lot of great titles coming out, and I know I couldn't get to everything, but I had a really good time in the year that I did, and I'm still playing some of those games to this day, and that speaks volumes. The Switch and its mobile capabilities, it's absolutely insane to me. I love what we've gotten so far, and I can't wait to see what we have coming up. The second year, to me, was just as good as the first one, and maybe I'll cover that eventually. I might even talk about my PlayStation games that I first got, or my Xbox games. Who knows? But tell me the first games that you got on your Switch. What are your favorites? Which do you regret buying? And don't say 1-2 Switch, because I already know. It was trash. $50! Stay perfect!